Welcome to me. Hi, me. There's me. I'm looking into the camera. I don't see me. I look into the camera, but I don't want to look at the screen now. I have to believe that that little tiny eye is actually me. How does a screen actor ever really look into a camera? Because I've done a lot, like, truthfully, George asked me this question, and boom, just like that, it comes up. I have done 400,000 minutes of video, approximately, according to George. Well, the in-between count would be sort of like 360. It's actually 288, but it only counts from December sometime in 2012, and I've made at least another 1,500 videos. So that can probably be closer to 500,000 minutes in videos. And that's not counting the videos in an upload. So am I looking at the screen or at the camera? Or am I just thinking about how Janae, hey Janae, you a joker? You want to smoke some Mary Janae? Janae, Mary Jane, Kush? There's a lot of names for Mary Jane. Why did they decide to stop on Mary Jane from marijuana? Why didn't they say it differently? Did they take marijuana and why didn't they call it anything else but marijuana? But they call it marijuana. So why did we get Mary Jane? When did Mary Jane show up? Who is Mary Jane? Janae? Where is Janae? In Quebec, Johnny would be Jacques Cousteau. He would be Jacques Cousteau. Janae, you want to come and have a little bit of, what are we going to call it now? Kush? Make it up. You like it so much. You like it so much. I have a friend of mine who's a performer, okay? And if he wants to sell you something, okay, and let's say this is the way he would sell weed to you. This is the way he would sell weed to you. He'd say, actually, it'd be like this. What do you got? We got this good purple Kush. Made the name up. Get $5 more if it's got a more romantic name. No, so you make these names up because you get more money. Now that's one scenario. Now don't forget, my perception, my own reality is my reality. It's my circle, and that's what I want to talk about. You know why? It cost me $8.80, okay, to send this. US. So now I got to figure out what the difference is between the US and the Canadian, to see the real value of what it cost and the difference in between the two numbers. So let's do the calculation that right now the Canadian dollar, let's take it a global. Let's go at 115. So we're going to say like this. It costs $8.80, okay, $8.80 times a tax of 1.15 because the value of the different places, the money, and the answer is it actually costs 1012, $10.12. 0 becomes 6. We get 16 and 12. L is the 12th letter. AL. AL is also for Ebola. ALO. Do you know why we switched the O to an E or to an A? Because when you have two circles, a circle here and a circle here, okay, these two circles, it's two areas I'm talking about. There's a circle here for this area. There's a circle here for this area, okay? There's a circle over here. Okay, so I have to explain this probably. So the 16 that I showed you, right, and the 12 that I showed you, did you see it or did I just see it and it didn't even exist? Did it exist or it didn't exist? Did I write something down? 16 and the 12. Where did that show up? Anyways, the 16 and the 12 from wherever. Oh, yes. I thought I was nuts. I swear I'm losing it. Here. 16 equals 7, 2 and 1 equals 3. It's always 7 and 3 connecting the two wings. 3 and 7, 3 and 7. But if you want to know the reflection of 3 and 7, what position that is, the reflection is, how did I get there? I got 3. How did I get there? I got 7. Where are you sitting? 3 sits on 2. Excuse me, in the 3 position is 2 Venus. And where Earth is, where Earth was, Venus replaces Earth, Earth replaces Mars, Mars replaces Mercury, Mercury replaces Neptune, Neptune replaces Uranus, Uranus replaces Saturn, and Saturn replaces Pluto. Now we put Nibiru on the outside. We put Nibiru here, and we put the yellow sun in the center. But not only that, we also put the red sun in the center and the other one over here, because this is what happens. This is the square, right? These two up top and these two over here. No, it's four corners. I'm showing you four corners, 90, 90, 90. Okay? I'm showing you four corners over here. The low shoe world. The low shoe world. You see the numbers where low shoe is? See this number 1 over here? Okay, I got to do this with it, and it's got to sit like this. This is the low shoe world. Let me see. 1 is here in low shoe. 5 is here in low shoe. 9 is here. Yes, yes. This is in the 2 position right now. This is in the 2 position right now. This one over here is in the 8 position. This one over here is in the 6 position. This one over here. Actually, this one over, yes, this is in the 6 position, and this is in the 4. And this is in the 4 position, yes. 4, 6, 2, 8. 4, 6, 2, 8. It's like this because there's one world that sits this way, upside down. So when you see 1, 2, 3 on that side, if our eyes inverse, I'll see 1, 2, 3 over here. So always assume that this is 3 and this is 1. And then, no, this is 1 and this is 3. And then this is 1 and this is 3. 1 across from 1, 3 across from 3, 6 and 2 equals your 8. 2 and 6 equals 8. The letter T, 20, 0 equals 6 plus 2 equals 8, or 26Z, T till Z, or minus 6, minus the circle, which means on the other side of the circle. Minus 6 is 14. So you play between 14 and 26 just with the letter T, because zeros equal 6. Now we're going to get on to the stamp. It was 8 and 8. But what we actually do is when there's a circle in the middle, it means this circle is the 6th circle. This is the life of 9 between 6 and 8. I'm going to explain to you. This is being the 6th circle, okay, the 4 corners and the 2 that crisscross, because it's in between the 2. Okay, you have 8, 6, 8. 24 or 42, which I can show you in another equation. I got 24, 42. I got 2 worlds, don't forget. I got 3 and 3. I got 2 and 2, or I got 2 and 2. Unless we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and counting these for 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we don't. We have 5 fingers, but the thumb is counted as 0 because it's not really a finger. It's a thumb. And it comes in, you know, I have to separate my hand. I have to see the way I'm dressed. Has anybody met number 1? Anybody meet him? Look what 1 can do. Look what 1 can do. Whoa, 1 turns around. Now, wait a second. Watch this. Look at that. Look how long 1 is, eh? But watch this. Oh, my God. 1 can barely make it to the top. But 1 crisscrosses over onto 4, 6. But when they run low shoe, 1 divides. When 1 divides, the reason it divides, and I've mentioned this so many times, that when you crisscross anything like that, you're cutting a full square in half. What does that mean? Everything is spaced. Everything is coordinated. Everything needs it. What area you see is because it just has to be that way. That's what we know now. It's that area. So when you cut something in half, how many cuts do you get, and how do you measure? What do you use to measure? How do you calculate your measures? What are they supposed to be? What is the reality of a triangle? Do you see the length between here and here? That triangle on here, okay, on this board over here is actually that. Okay, that's what I'm going to try and see if I can get one of these. You see the white one? See that one? All right, now we're going to cut that out. We're going to cut that out and see what we get. Now I'm a little mixed up. I keep losing my thoughts because I have so many exciting things. But I just saw something today, It was the legend of the cryptides. And I've always mentioned in all my stuff is that Nova Scotia is very special, especially because everybody has to understand what salmon is, and with salmon you make locks, and locks are for boats, and boats are being blocked and transported to a lower realm of water, but the salmon can go upstream, meaning the salmon has soul within the spirit. So what happens? Does the soul fall from the waterfall, but yet the salmon is the transporter, which is the omega inside the body that brings in the light of spirit? I can look at it both ways. I'm never going to say anything is final. I got it cut out. Doesn't it look like the sign of the delta? And I'm going to put it on the shape, and it fits exact. So I know that shape, you see the little corner here and the little corner here, that's my fault. Okay, that's my fault. Okay, because if you look at the corner over here, and you look at the corner over here, they match. So all this balance and extra is just a filament at the end. It's just a leftover like everywhere else. So we have a balance of 1/2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4, half, 4, half. Half, 4, half. The word that is used for half, okay, is 5. We use the word 5 for half because if you take a look at the point, I can't even look. Okay, if you look at the points, okay, you look at the points, the center point is a 5. But there's 3 real worlds in there. You see this guy, look his blue arm and his orange arm and his 2 legs are all the way down. Let me get back to, I'm lost, I'm all over the place, I don't like it. Here's the square, okay? It's this world. I mean, you want to do something else? You want to put the square here? See to put the square there? So I can put the square in 1, 2, 3 areas. Now watch this. 2, 4, 5. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23. I don't even know how many are on here. I don't know how many are on here, right? But I can tell you right now, it's 5. You have to measure it again. You remember? It takes 4 of these, right? 4 of these. So whatever I get here is 5. Okay? 5 by 1, 2, 3. 5 by 3 is, I need 15 of these, okay, squares. In each one of these things, like, you see the size of it over here? I can tell you exactly what this is on square paper and what I can build. Let's talk to number 1 again. Number 1. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I put number 1 sideways. If you put it together sideways this way, right, it can just be a passage, right? If you put it this way, it means it's because it could be a pillar. But look what we can do with number 1. We just made 1 go round. It was a go round for 1. Want to see what 1 can do? Look, 1 can do tricks. Look what 1 can do. Eh? Well, look what 1 can do. Eh? What can 1 do? But in all reality, 1 goes round. Now, if you want to know how round she is, we'll just give her some numbers and see how many inches of rounds I need to go around this. Hold on a second. Let's do this right. Let's see what 1 is made out of, eh? Okay, I'm going to do it a little bit quicker now. Well, we're going to have to bring some kids in here because I'm quite sure they're better than me at this. Than, you know, I'm squeezing it so it doesn't come out. Okay, it reaches number 17. Okay, it reaches here. Okay, it reaches here. Now I'm going to show you something. You see the bottom? There's nothing here. I will take that away. Okay, I'm going to go measure it one more time. Okay, here's the measure. How close will we become? What's missing? Next to nothing. there is something missing. There is something missing, and there's a 0 and a double 0 here, which makes up for the link. The 0 and the double 0. The only reason the 0 is over here, because that shows the lineup. Don't forget, you always need 1 to go between 2. Here, for example, here's a brush. I have 1 finger on this side and 1 finger on this side. 1 went between 1. So we can write like this, right? But what if we write like this? One goes between 2 because if you have, see that? 1 goes between 4. 1 goes between 2. Here's 2. 1 goes between it. When you put a thumbtack into the grip, 2 goes in 1, goes in 2, goes in 2 at a time. The other thing I wanted to mention is this picture. Can you see this picture? Okay, now I want to show you another picture. What I want to show you is her arms. Look at the arms. Let's look at the arms. Can you see these arms? Okay, you can see the arms? What about this? What if I show you both of them at the same time? The same thing. The same thing. The exact same thing. This is from, whose page is this from? I'm not sure. I'll bring it up. Oh yeah, that's Jen a news page, you see. And here's the house. Now you understand what this is. You understand where she is. Okay. You understand that the butterfly, okay, the wings, it's the wings of a bat. The butterfly is the wings of a bat. It seems like the caterpillar flies upside down in his new world. Okay. He flaps his wings upside down. Can't you see it? It looks like a bat upside down. It looks like the caterpillar is flying upside down. Between these wings, you might see its head. But when you ask, do you have eyes behind your head? I'd like to know exactly what happened to that caterpillar, where his actual eye is, because when I look at the butterfly, I mean, anyways, let's go back to this other thing, this other reality. You have to have 10 in between 8. You know why 10 is in between 8? Because this is 0. You go 9, 8, because in our world, everything else came first. 10 was first before anything. Then we've got the Spirit of God and the soul of the earth. It's 10, 9, 8. There is nothing else. And even in this, do you see the 0 in here? It's another house. It's this house, and this house comes together to create this house. The reason this is an 8 is because it's 360 degrees. But when you're a diamond in a corner, and I take away 1 corner from you, how many corners you have left if you're sitting in a corner? You got 3 corners, right? If I take away from here, half of 1 corner here, right? And then half of the other corner here. Do you see what I did? I took it off on half, in less than half of the screen. And I took the other one off in less than half of the screen. And then I took the sliver in the middle and I put a slip inside of it. I slipped in another ace. And by slipping in the other ace, you create, how can I have to say it? Wow, how did I come to that? Oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm just learning this. Slipped another ace, slipped another ace. What happened? What was I? Where was I? Slipped another ace. Slipped into place, slipped in. I'm going to have to go back and listen to it. No, I'm going to stay 1 minute and look for it. Okay, the round came all the way around. This is 36 numbers. Add to 36, it equals 666 plus 1. Okay, it becomes 703. Plus 1 again, it becomes 741. 666 plus 37 plus 38 plus 39. You know why 37, 38, 39? Because there's a 0 and there's a double 0, and then in the other game there's just a 0. So you have to count even the games that aren't in the same games are now in the same games because they're on the other side. They have to play the game on what they're on their side. You have to play your game for what you're on your side. He has to play the game for what he's on his side. They all play the same game. We're all playing football. One calls it soccer. The other calls it rugby. The other calls it NFL. We come to Canada, it's 3 downs, you're out. But they stop the clock, so they give you a break. But they start you at the 35-yard line, of course. 4 by 35 equals to 140. Plus 40 because you're sitting 10, 10, 10, 10 of the center, right? 10, 10 of the 10, 10 this way, 10, 10 of the 10, 10 that way, and 10, 10. If you got to get the equal space to who you are in each and every one of the directions, in each and one of the houses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not 7, 8, 9, 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 4. But they'll see the 4 on this side instead of on that side. The 0 is an area space. It stands for 10. 808 bicycle cards is telling you you're in the world of 108. 108 is 68 minutes. 68, 6 by 8, 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 is across 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 68 equals to 48, which is space. It's also space because it takes the 4 corners of 2 zeros, because it gives you 90, 90, 90, which is the maximum space you can actually calculate. Okay, keeping under the total of 10. So it's 9, but it's not 9 because it's 4 on the left and 4 on the right. And since one world flips over into the other world and one world becomes the other world, it has to become that exact amount. When they flip it over. So if that world flips into me and I get 3 point whatever and she gets point of mine, the thing is we double up on each other. If her world is 12 square feet, my world is 12 square feet. Now we have to have 24 square feet. Okay, then we need to cut it in half on each side and put it together to connect both worlds together so that I can come in to live. That gives me 48 hours, 2 days, plus the passage within my day. My man 6. 6 parts, 4 times. 4 parts of 234 times 432 is 101.88 or 101.88. 101.88 is 1616. It is the light. It is the lock of the piano. For a reason everybody knows is because A and G, but the first time G and A meet, it's at H. The first time G and B meets and A and B have to go together because in order to do anything around 1, you have to have a minimum of 2. 2, 4, or 6. Right into the heart. Put the stake right into the heart. Singing of the harp. 4 areas. Who's where? We're all sitting on exact angles. The exact angles make web feet or bat's wings. Why? Because what I do is I draw from this corner here. If I draw from that corner to here, right, and in between, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks. Only 5 marks. 2, 1 in between here and here, and then 3 corners here, here, and here. I will have 3 and 2, 3 in the corners, 2 not. That is a total of 5. But in this game, everybody knows it's 1, 2, 3 areas that you have to mark. So that means this is allowed to go all the way into the last house. Now you have to calculate all your areas. The next thing I want to talk about is the duck. I found the duck. I know where the duck design comes from. I'm going to draw it for you, and you're going to have to really freaking imagine a whole lot because I ain't no artist. I'm just fooling around. I was twisting this thing around, right? And then when I got it, then I looked at this and I had almost designed the same thing. I have 8 areas to get in, but this has 2 levels. Almost the same thing. The duck is like this. The world is said to be round, right? There's supposed to be a nut in the center, but the nut is supposed to be more of a nut like this. Okay? So what happens to this? Where does the duck come from? So we split the world this way, right? So now I'm going to show you what happens to the world, okay? We're going to spin it around. So I take this and I flip it up over onto this side here. So it was around U over here, and I flipped it over here. And now we've got two sides. And there's your duck. I split the world in half. There was a noyau. The noyau, there's a bone. It's a pit. It's the apple core. When you move away the apple core, it creates the shape of the beak. And then, well, everybody knows the twigs that hang below. And all this video is because I got that. Thanks, Jen. And 868, remember, when you have 808 bicycle cards, it's 868. This is 14. 14 and 48. 14 and 48 equals to 28 and 96. 28 and 96. So this becomes 7 by 4, and this becomes 24 by 4. This is what we get right here. We have just hit the number 724 right now. The bicycle card's 808. When I multiply 8 times 6, 8 plus 6, which equals 14 and 48, which equals 62, okay, on each side, 6 and 2 and 6 and 2 is 8, 808 again. Well, okay, the other thing is because when there's a 6, there's an 8, because 6 says I have 2 moons, one here, and 1 moon that I hold on to me. I become 9, okay, and they become 6 and 6, or he remains at 6. So we have 28 and 96, 7 times 4, 24 times 4. 7, 24, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. This, 4 times 2, 4 plus 2, will recreate 8 and 6 again. So these numbers don't change. 28 is the moon of the rotation. 6 and 9, okay? 6 and 9 stands for Pluto, which is birth, okay? 9, birth, to 6, death. Okay, you can use lots of numbers for death, because don't forget, unless you have that dot, it's not 6, it's 6, 5. Because 6 alone is just a circle. 6, 5 is the circle with the heart. The heart is one of 4 dimensions inside the 6, breaking it up into 90, 90, 90, in which the angles on a clock between 3 and 9 differentiate between 45 above and 45 below, only part of the north and the south skies. Are you following me? Are you following me? Are you following me? Thank you very much for being here to the end of this video. I really appreciate anybody that has any heart. I need all the energy in the world. Like most of the stuff I did in this video is the first time I ever did it. I'm learning by the day, by the minute, by the second, by the nanosecond. Whatever I watch, everybody is teaching me. I just feel like everybody is teaching me. Now the whole thing is, I know nothing at all. I want to start at scratch. Go inside, enjoy yourself. I hope you enjoyed the whole video. You make the final decision, and we all can talk about it together and make it into this great thing, reality, because really and truthfully, this is not a small thing. When reality sets out that inside a book that says I don't care anymore, all of a sudden I got a whole show, movie, and TV for 3 hours that didn't take me more than 4 hours to make. What a Hollywood budget I would have, eh? Holy crap. Oh, just got fired for that one. Anyways, let's just say this lady. Oh, 28, 28. Oh, 28. Oh, can I just do this last thing real quick? Do you know why there's 28, 29, and 30 days in a month? Okay, let's do it this way. The last day in the month is why, because why? Okay, 26, 27. Okay, unless there's a birth and a life, there is no 9. There is no 8. There is no 7. There is nothing until 7, 8, 9. 700, if you take, hold on a second, what's the number again? Hold on a second. 789, 789, 789, 789, no. What is it called? Something, yes, 21 times 21, which is the cube, because there's nothing until 21. You remember blackjack 21? Okay, 21 times 47, which is the time of Christ, and then you go equals 987. 987 plus 21, okay, is 1008, 1008, the 1010 world. plus 21 equals 108, the 1010 world. Okay, 108. Now what you got to do is you can take 987. Oh, hold on a second. You go 987, right? And you had number 21 before. You go plus 2 plus 1 equals 990. You have that plus 6 equals 996. 9 times 9 is 81. Clear. 9 times 9 equals 81 times 6 equals 486. Two areas of 8 and 6. The same numbers of 808 bicycle cards. Did you follow that whole trick? The same number as bicycle cards. 486. 484 means one area. If you take the 4 and you put the 86 on the other side, you turn that to an 8. But you don't need to turn it to an 8. You turn it to a 6 or a 9. Because the circle becomes the 6 of life and the 9 becomes the birth of life. You flip it onto the other side because, like I said, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all you get out of a square, right? Did you see the Scotia Bank? It's all you get out of a square. In Europe, they used to say the square, the dice cube. You can't get any more out of the dice cube. So we know it's all in electronics. You know the answer is all in electronics and electricity and everything else that moves. Raphael at 3111. Raphael 3111. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. 7286 in the final year. Oh, breathe, brother, breathe. Thank God. Oh, my God. Hold on to the ship. She's going to rock while the Vikings come on home. Thank you.